Hello everybody, it's Hannah from Story Kids. Welcome back. I am so happy to have you here. If you haven't seen any of our more recent episodes, yesterday we read The Ugly Duckling, then before that we did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, we did our Dr. Seuss Saturday and Sunday with Hop on Pop and Green Eggs and Ham, then before that we read Just a Dream, we read Amelia Bedelia, and we read The Little Engine That Could. And then there are a whole bunch of episodes before that too. So if you missed any of those, they're right below this video. You can check them out. They're all in that big playlist, and they're also in the description. So, with that having been said, today I've got a great story for you. I have Giraffes Can't Dance by Giles Andreae and Guy Parker Rees. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing their names right, but nonetheless, this is a really fun book. This was one of my favorite books when I was little, and so I hope you enjoy it. Right before we start, I know that we had talked a bunch of times about the different art styles in a story. So the first thing I want you to notice is this one isn't quite like yesterday's where it's watercolors, and it isn't quite like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs either with those lines. This one is more solid paint, and it looks almost like a doodle. That's some cool font too. Something else I want you to notice about this book is the rhyme pattern. This book rhymes just like some of the Dr. Seuss books. So if you like rhyming books, the sun's coming out. If you like rhyming books, I'm sure you'll like this one. Let's hop into Giraffes Can't Dance. There's some fun art. All the dancing giraffes. And here's some monkeys too. Lots of animals. Do you guys like animals? Tell me, what's your favorite animal? Wow, that's so cool. Mine's a gerbil. Alright, here we go. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. Have any of you ever seen giraffes before? Maybe at the zoo or on a safari? He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. Tell me what kinds of animals you see on this page. I see some zebras, some monkeys, a cheetah, a lion, lots of others. And they're all there to dance. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. Do you have a kind of dance that you like to do? Maybe a ballroom dance like they're doing, or a TikTok dance, or a ballet or tap dance. I like all kinds of dance. I love tap dance personally though. Okay, here we go. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. That's a Scottish reel for those of you who maybe didn't understand my very bad Scottish accent. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," the animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. Aw, poor Gerald. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before. So sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket who'd seen Gerald earlier on. But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. You see the cricket? There he is. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is the branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. I'm closing my eyes and imagining that right now. I can hear the music of the sun and the clouds and the trees and the breeze, just like the cricket talked about. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swishing round. He's dancing. He threw his legs out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. I am dancing. Yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing, Gerald cried. Then, one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him, quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen!" How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love." The end. Look at those tangoing lions. How fun. Did you guys like that story? It was always one of my favorites growing up. I think the son liked it too, because now it came all the way over to me. Now, what do you think Gerald can teach you? Have you ever heard of the saying, dance to the rhythm of your own drum? Or dance to the beat of your own drum? Well, Gerald is a perfect example of that. Literally, yes, he dances to his own music, but, he doesn't necessarily follow what all the other animals are doing, but that doesn't make him weird or different or less special or less important. In fact, that makes him more special and more unique, and it makes all the other animals think he's so wonderful. So, if you ever have a really cool talent or a different way of doing things, and people say to you, I hope they don't, but if they do, if they say to you, that's weird, that's different, if there's something about you that's different physically or in your head, if there's a talent that you have or a hobby that you like that's different, don't let people tell you that you're wrong or weird or strange for having that. Show them all the awesome things that can come out of it, just like Gerald did. Gerald took something that maybe he couldn't do and did what he could do instead, and then everybody was like, wow, Gerald is amazing. So embrace what makes you unique, and next time someone tells you giraffes can't dance, you raise your head like the proud giraffe you are and you say, oh yes they can, just to their own music. That was Giraffes Can't Dance. I'm Hannah from Story Kids. Until next time, keep reading everybody. Bye-bye.